A sink full of dirty dishes is not just a chore. It is a quiet reminder that there was food on the table and no one went to bed hungry. Many people pray every day for a meal. What may seem like an ordinary task to us is a blessing that others are still hoping to receive. Instead of complaining about what needs to be cleaned, choose gratitude for what God has already provided. A grateful heart sees blessings where others see burdens. Every plate tells a story of provision. Every cup speaks of mercy. And every meal reflects God's faithfulness in caring for our daily needs. The little things in life often carry the greatest blessings. We just need to slow down and recognize them with thankful hearts. When you wash the dishes, remember that you are not just cleaning. You are giving thanks for another day of God's provision and care. Life becomes more joyful when we stop focusing on what we lack and start appreciating what we already have. God's blessings are not always extraordinary. Sometimes they come in the form of a simple meal shared with family, a roof over our heads, and another chance to begin again. And while you're washing those dishes, remember that every small act done with a grateful heart honors the blessings God has given you. A home that needs cleaning is a home that has been lived in. A table with used plates is a table where people gathered, shared stories, and enjoyed God's provision. Don't measure your life by the burdens you carry. Measure it by the countless blessings that often go unnoticed in your daily routine. Gratitude changes your perspective. The same task that once felt tiring can become a reminder that God continues to provide exactly what you need. Keep trusting God's timing and His provision. The God who gave you today's meal is the same God who will take care of tomorrow. When life feels difficult, don't forget to thank God for the ordinary blessings that many people are still praying for. A thankful heart finds peace even in simple moments. It understands that every blessing, big or small, comes from God's loving hand. May we never become so focused on what we want that we forget to thank God for what we already have. Count your blessings every day, because a grateful heart is one of the richest hearts anyone can have. Every new sunrise is another reminder that God has given you a fresh beginning. Yesterday may have been difficult, but today is another opportunity to trust Him. The blessings you have today were once the prayers you whispered in faith. Never let familiarity steal your gratitude. Not every blessing comes wrapped in comfort. Sometimes God uses challenges to strengthen your faith, shape your character, and prepare you for something greater. Keep working hard, stay humble, and never stop praying. Success has greater meaning when it is built on faith, integrity, and perseverance. When you choose gratitude over complaining, you make room for joy. Peace begins when you appreciate what God has already placed in your hands. Remember, God is not only present during your biggest victories, He is also with you in the ordinary moments that quietly shape your life. No blessing is too small to thank God for. Every breath, every meal, every opportunity, and every new day is a gift from Him. Walk forward with faith, not fear. Trust that the God who has been faithful in the past will continue to guide and provide for you in the future. So keep your heart thankful, your hands willing to serve, and your eyes fixed on God. A life filled with gratitude is a life that reflects His goodness every single day. Never underestimate the power of a thankful heart. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into reminders of God's extraordinary faithfulness. There is always someone praying for the very things you already have today. Let that truth inspire you to appreciate every blessing, no matter how small it may seem. God's provision is not measured by abundance alone. Even in seasons of little, His grace is always more than enough. The path may not always be easy, but every step you take with faith brings you closer to the purpose God has prepared for you. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "Lord, what are you teaching me through this?" Growth often begins with a change in perspective. Your greatest testimony may not be the success you achieve, but the faith you keep while waiting for God's perfect timing. Kindness, patience, and gratitude cost nothing, yet they can brighten someone's darkest day. Never miss an opportunity to be a blessing to others. The more you thank God for today's blessings, the more your heart learns to trust Him with tomorrow's uncertainties. Every challenge has an expiration date, but God's promises remain forever. Hold on to His word, even when the journey feels long. So, live each day with faith, serve with humility, love without condition, and give thanks in every season. A grateful heart will always discover that God's goodness has been there all along. Life is not measured by how much we own, but by how much gratitude we carry in our hearts. True wealth begins with contentment. God often answers prayers in ways we do not expect. Trust His wisdom, because His plans are always greater than our understanding. When doors close, do not lose hope. Sometimes God closes one door because He is preparing a better one that no one can shut. Your journey is unique. Do not compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 10. God's timing for your life is perfect. Every delay has a purpose. What feels like waiting today may be God's way of preparing you for something beyond your imagination. The strongest people are not those who never struggle, but those who continue to trust God through every trial and every victory. Never stop planting seeds of kindness, honesty, and love. In God's perfect time, you will reap a harvest greater than you expected. Celebrate the blessings of others without envy. What God has planned for you will never be taken away by someone else. No matter what tomorrow brings, remember that God's mercy is new every morning, and His faithfulness never fails. So keep walking with faith, keep praying with confidence, and keep thanking God every single day. A grateful heart will always find peace, hope, and joy in His presence. Every heartbeat is a gift from God. Before chasing bigger dreams, take a moment to thank Him for the life you have today. Some blessings arrive as answered prayers, while others come as lessons that shape you into the person God created you to be. Do not be discouraged by slow progress. Even the tallest trees began as tiny seeds growing quietly beneath the soil. The world may encourage you to seek more, but God first teaches you to be faithful with what you already have. A grateful heart sees opportunities where others see obstacles. Faith allows you to keep moving, even when the destination is not yet visible. Never forget the people who stood beside you during your hardest days. Gratitude should be shown not only to God, but also to those He used to help you. The greatest victories are not always seen by the world. Sometimes they are the silent battles won through prayer, patience, and unwavering faith. Every blessing you receive is also an opportunity to bless someone else. The more love, kindness, and generosity you share, the brighter God's light shines through you. No season lasts forever. Difficult times will pass, and joyful days will come. Hold on to God's promises, because He never breaks His word. Keep your eyes on God, your heart full of gratitude, and your hands ready to serve. When you walk with Him each day, you will discover that His grace is always enough, and His love never fails. Every morning you wake up is another page God has added to your story. Make it a page filled with faith, kindness, and gratitude. Do not allow temporary problems to steal your permanent hope. The God who carried you yesterday is still holding you today. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not receiving everything you asked for, but discovering that God's grace was enough all along. Be patient with your journey. Flowers do not bloom overnight, yet when their season comes, they reveal the beauty God placed within them. Success is not only reaching the top. Success is remaining humble, faithful, and thankful no matter where God places you. The more you trust God, the less fear controls your heart. Faith does not remove every storm, but it reminds you that you are never facing it alone. Never underestimate the impact of a smile, a kind word, or a simple prayer. Small acts of love can change someone's life in ways you may never know. Even if today did not go as planned, thank God for the strength to keep going. Every ending is the beginning of another opportunity. Choose faith over fear, gratitude over complaints, and hope over discouragement. These choices will shape the direction of your life. As you move forward, remember this: God has never stopped being faithful. Keep praying, keep believing, keep working with integrity, and keep giving thanks. The best is not always what comes first. It is what comes in God's perfect time. Never let your circumstances define your faith. Let your faith define how you face every circumstance. Some prayers are answered immediately, while others are answered through seasons of waiting. In both, God is working for your good. Do not be afraid of starting over. Every new beginning is another chance to experience God's guidance and faithfulness. Your greatest strength is not found in your own abilities, but in your willingness to trust God when you cannot see the whole picture. Be thankful for closed doors. They often protect you from places God never intended you to stay. The blessings you enjoy today are reminders of God's love, not rewards for perfection. His grace is a gift, received with a humble heart. When you choose forgiveness over bitterness, peace over anger, and gratitude over complaining, your heart becomes a place where God's joy can grow. No matter how long the journey seems, never stop taking faithful steps. God is never late. He always arrives at the perfect time. Encourage others whenever you can. A few sincere words filled with hope can become the answer to someone's silent prayer. Keep your heart anchored in God, your mind filled with hope, and your life guided by gratitude. When you walk with Him each day, you will discover that His blessings are far greater than anything this world can offer. Every day is a new opportunity to see God's goodness in ways you may have overlooked before. The air you breathe, the strength to rise from bed, the people who love you, the food on your table, and the peace you feel after every prayer are all reminders that God continues to care for you. Never become so focused on what is missing that you forget to thank Him for what is already present. There will be seasons when life feels uncertain and the road ahead is unclear. During those moments, remember that God has never asked you to know everything about tomorrow. He simply asks you to trust Him one step at a time. Faith grows not by seeing the whole path, but by believing that the one who leads you never makes mistakes. Do not measure God's love by the number of blessings you receive. Measure it by the sacrifice He has already made and the countless times He has protected you from dangers you never even knew existed. Sometimes the greatest blessings are the ones you never see because God quietly kept them away from your life. When your prayers seem unanswered, do not lose heart. God hears every word, every tear, and every silent cry. His delays are never rejections. He knows the perfect moment to give what is best for you, and His timing will always be better than your own. Stay humble when life is good, and stay faithful when life is difficult. Character is revealed not only in moments of success, but also in moments of waiting. A heart that remains grateful in every season is a heart that has learned to trust God's wisdom above its own understanding. Remember that every act of kindness matters. A smile, a helping hand, a word of encouragement, or a sincere prayer may seem small to you, but they can become a life-changing blessing to someone else. God often works through ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things. Never compare your journey with anyone else's. God writes every story differently because every purpose is unique. What He is preparing for you does not need to look like what He has prepared for someone else. Trust the path He has chosen specifically for your life. When you fall, do not stay on the ground. Ask God for strength. Stand up again, learn from the experience, and continue moving forward. Failure is not the end of your story. With God, every setback can become preparation for a greater comeback. As your blessings increase, let your gratitude increase even more. Never allow success to replace your dependence on God. The same God who opened the first door is the one who will continue leading you through every season of your life. So live each day with a thankful heart, a faithful spirit, and unwavering hope. Keep praying, even when you are waiting. Keep serving, even when no one notices. Keep believing, even when circumstances seem impossible. And keep trusting God in every season. His grace is sufficient. His love never fails. and His plans for your life are always filled with hope, purpose, and everlasting goodness. As you continue your journey, remember that God's faithfulness is not determined by your circumstances. He is the same loving, powerful, and faithful God in your victories as He is in your valleys. His presence never leaves you, even when life feels silent. Do not let disappointments harden your heart. Every unanswered expectation is an invitation to trust God's greater plan. What He withholds today may be the very thing that protects you from tomorrow's pain. A grateful heart sees beauty in ordinary days. It celebrates simple meals, peaceful nights, meaningful conversations, good health, and another sunrise. These may seem small, but they are priceless gifts that many people are praying to receive. Never forget where God found you. Remember the prayers you prayed, the fears He calmed, the doors He opened, and the battles He carried you through. Looking back at His faithfulness will give you confidence to trust Him with your future. There is no wasted season with God. Every delay teaches patience. Every trial builds strength. Every loss creates room for something better. Every blessing reminds you of His goodness. Even the seasons you wish had never happened can become part of your testimony. Choose to speak words that bring life. Encourage those who are discouraged, comfort those who are hurting, and pray for those who cannot find the strength to pray for themselves. Your words may become the hope someone needs to keep going. Never allow pride to replace gratitude. The abilities you have, the opportunities you receive, and the success you achieve are all gifts from God. Stay humble, because humility keeps your heart close to the One who blesses you. When the future feels uncertain, hold on to God's promises instead of your fears. His plans are never based on the limitations you see, but on His unlimited power. Nothing is impossible for the God who created heaven and earth. Every day is another opportunity to love more deeply, forgive more freely, serve more willingly, and trust more completely. A life surrendered to God is never wasted because He can use every moment for His glory and your good. So as you step into each new day, carry gratitude in your heart, peace in your mind, kindness in your words, and faith in your soul. Let your life become a testimony that no matter what comes your way, God's grace is enough. His mercy is new every morning, and His love will never leave those who place their trust in Him. Life will not always be easy, and not every day will go according to your plans. There will be moments of joy that make you smile, and moments of pain that bring tears to your eyes. Yet, through every season, never forget that God remains faithful. He does not change when your circumstances change. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His love remains constant, and His promises never fail. There will be days when you feel tired, discouraged, or overwhelmed by responsibilities. In those moments, do not rely only on your own strength. Bring every burden to God in prayer. The One who created the heavens and the earth is never too busy to listen to the cries of His children. What feels impossible to you is never impossible for Him. Do not allow the opinions of others to determine your worth. Your value is not measured by your achievements, your possessions, or the approval of people. Your true worth comes from the God who created you with purpose, loves you without condition, and calls you His own. Walk with confidence, not because of who you are, but because of who God is. Remember that every blessing carries a responsibility. When God blesses you with wisdom, use it to guide others. When He blesses you with resources, use them to help those in need. When He blesses you with opportunities, use them with integrity. A life that honors God becomes a blessing to many people. Do not envy those who seem to be succeeding faster than you. Every person's journey is different, and every season has its own purpose. Some harvest early, while others harvest later. The important thing is to remain faithful where God has planted you. In His perfect time, your season of harvest will come. There are blessings that money can never buy: a peaceful heart, a loving family, loyal friends, good health, wisdom, forgiveness, hope, and the presence of God. Treasure these gifts, because they are among the richest blessings you will ever receive. When life becomes difficult, do not ask only for an easier path. Ask God for a stronger faith, greater wisdom, and a heart that continues to trust Him, regardless of the outcome. Storms do not last forever, but the lessons they teach can strengthen you for a lifetime. Be careful with the words you speak. Your words have the power to encourage or discourage, to heal or to hurt. Choose words that reflect God's love, kindness, and truth. Sometimes, the simplest words of encouragement become the answer to someone's silent prayer. Never stop growing. Continue learning, continue serving, continue improving, and continue seeking God every day. A humble heart is always willing to grow, and a teachable spirit opens the door to greater wisdom. God is able to use those who remain faithful, no matter how ordinary they may feel. So keep walking by faith, even when the road is uncertain. Keep praying, even when the answers seem delayed. Keep loving, even when others fail to appreciate you. As the days pass, never allow your heart to grow weary in doing good. Kindness may not always be appreciated. Honesty may not always be rewarded immediately, and faithfulness may sometimes go unnoticed. But remember, God sees every sincere act, every quiet sacrifice, and every prayer whispered in secret. Nothing done for Him is ever wasted. There will be moments when you wonder if your efforts are making a difference. You may feel like your prayers are unanswered, your work is unnoticed, or your dreams are taking too long to come true. Do not give up. Seeds planted in faith grow beneath the surface long before they appear above the ground. What God is preparing in silence will one day become visible to everyone. Never let temporary setbacks convince you that your future has been defeated. A closed door does not mean your journey has ended. Sometimes God closes one path because He is leading you toward something far greater than you could ever imagine. Trust His direction, even when it does not make sense at the moment. Learn to celebrate every small victory, every lesson learned, every obstacle overcome, every prayer answered, and every step forward is evidence that God is continually working in your life. Great achievements are built upon many small moments of faithfulness. Do not forget that true success is not measured by wealth, popularity, or recognition. Real success is living with integrity, loving others sincerely, serving God faithfully, and finishing each day knowing that you have honored Him with your words, your actions, and your attitude. Keep your heart free from bitterness. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it frees your future. Release every hurt into God's hands, for He alone is the perfect judge. Peace enters the heart that chooses forgiveness over resentment. Every sunrise is God's gentle reminder that His mercy is new once again. Yesterday's failures do not define today's possibilities. His grace gives you another opportunity to begin again, to grow stronger, and to walk closer with Him. Make it your goal not only to receive blessings, but also to become one. A helping hand, a generous heart, a listening ear, or a sincere prayer can become God's answer to someone else's need. The greatest lives are those that lift others while glorifying God. No matter how successful you become, never outgrow your dependence on prayer. The higher God lifts you, the more you should humble yourself before Him. Success without God may satisfy for a moment, but a life with God brings peace that lasts forever. So continue your journey with unwavering faith, unshakable hope, and endless gratitude. Keep your eyes on God rather than on your fears. Keep trusting, even when you cannot see the outcome. The God who has carried you this far will never abandon you. His love will remain your strength. His wisdom will guide your path. And His faithfulness will continue to write a beautiful story through every chapter of your life.